All right, let's turn on some desktop monitors. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good.
Pretty excited for this
Yeah, this
Friday.
is this is a really rare occasion right now where we actually
game.
have the entire game design team with us. I'm so psyched
Yeah.
about this. Uh, I haven't seen a lot of your faces for a while. Carl, you definitely grew out the goatee.
I
It's
did.
November, remember.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. You look.
There's a little more. There's a little bit more gray in it too, actually. So
You
yeah.
definitely have this thing where it definitely makes you look more distinguished, but it also makes you look a little bit evil, which I know is
Mhm.
something you're going for.
Yes.
It's the perfect combination of evil and crazy.
Yeah.
Evil
Shout out
Steve.
to Steven and James who have already joined us on the in the chat. So thank you so much. What are we talking about today? On one end, we lament. We're a little sad because tomorrow was supposed to be the championship tournament, and it would have been a really crazy one. We would have had all 12 champions coming in. We would have had a good community playing. Our community grew so much this year, and
Yeah.
I'm really excited that it's taking this direction and that the game's just doing as well as it is. But on the other side, since we can't have the championship, let's reflect. Let's look back at the championship from last year. Talk about some of our favorite memories, our highlights, some of the decisions that went into it that were definitely unique. Things like challenging the developers and doing the race spoilers, which were a lot of fun. So we'll be getting into all that. Before we do, I want to do a special shout out to our Patreon members. So special shout out to Andrew, Gunther, Hill, Steven, Stevo, Nathan, and Will. Thank you so much for all your support to all our Patreon members. Just as a reminder, if you sign up before the end of the month, you'll get December's Patreon package, which includes the full borderless, full art borderless chain lightnings, both versions. So the beta artwork, you'll get two of those, and you'll get one of the Welcome to JLR artworks. And then it's fitting because with this, you're also getting the foil Kendra champion cards. So you got Kendra casting the chain lightning, and you're getting the foil Kendra. So I'm really excited about that. Um, the other thing I want to talk about is the Future League. So if you're part of Future League this month, you're joining the conversation. This month is a really special month to join the conversation because we're talking about the champions and getting your input about them. If you participate in the Future League channel and AG Miller ends up writing your name down, then you'll get the Casmodon promo, which is the reverse art promo. So you just need to join the Discord, join the conversation in the Future League channel, request for the role of Future Leaguer, and that's how you're getting that promo. Uh, so with that, and then also, I want to say we got the 3-year anniversary celebration, which is going on. Today is the last day for you to pick up that limited edition promo package, which has the 4 borderless champions and a 3-year chip. Tomorrow, I'll be doing an AMA from 3 to 5. And then this weekend, we're also having the auction, which is going on, which is super cool. And then on Monday, we'll be doing a really cool special reveal that day. So, lots of things going on. Thank you to everyone who supported us along the way. And then, last thing I want to say before we jump into this entire live stream is that if you leave a comment, if you are watching with us and you leave a comment during the stream, you'll be entered into a chance to win some prizes at the end of the month. And so I'll make sure that I make that announcement on December 1st, who's winning one. And it's just really great. So make sure if you're watching, you're leaving a comment. All right. I think that's everything I have. Are you ready to jump into the chat?
Let's do it.
All right. So I put in in the chat here the link to the Discord channel in case anyone needs that. All right. So let's start with the championship. I want to start by asking, how was your initial feeling when I announced to the team that we're going to be doing a championship in 2019? Do you remember that initial reaction, or how did you feel about doing this? I want to start with JC.
How did I feel about it?
Do you think we were ready as a team?
when you're a new game on the block, I don't think you're gonna be ready for anything at the end of the day. I learned that from Play Fusion releasing Lightseekers. Actually, do I think we're ready? Hell no, we weren't ready. We're a bunch of friends releasing a game. Come on. But the thing is, though, let's be honest. Can you be fully ready for doing something that scale? And the answer is probably no, you can't. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know anything. And it's the first time. For all we know, we could have went in there, 100 people out of nowhere playing this game. We could have went in and 5 were playing. So it really was. It was a crapshoot at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was definitely a really interesting situation. Carl, do you remember your initial reactions? What expectations did you have coming into this?
I was a little apprehensive, I think, if I remember correctly, because, I wasn't sure if we would get enough people to warrant having an actual championship.
Yeah.
But that was. I hadn't ever run anything like that, so I've been a part of different championships and had seen some things do really well and others not so well. So I was sort of a little apprehensive, but looking forward to it for sure. Like it was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how about you, Lionel?
Yeah, just a whole bunch of emotions, like pretty much what Carl and JC were saying. I was excited, I was apprehensive, I was nervous, a little bunch stressed. But overall, I was excited for the prospects of doing a championship. I honestly felt we would have the amount of people to make it as successful, so I wasn't super worried about the turnout, but obviously more the better. But I think that it turned out really well, and I'm glad the way we ended up doing it and having everybody there. So it's just a lot of good emotions, and a lot of emotions from my side.
Yeah, I just remember just a few weeks before doing the championship, we were at EGLX, and that was a crazy busy weekend for us. So the entire time we were doing that convention, I was there thinking about, okay, what do we need to get together for doing the championship? What are all the pieces that need to come into place? There were just so many things to juggle at the same time. And I also didn't know if people took the game seriously enough to want to play it competitively, right? So that was definitely a good surprise for us. For everyone who's watching, I'll throw this question out there for the people who are watching. What champion would you have brought in if we had a 2020 championship? So if we had the 2020 championship, which champion would you have played? I would love to know. So leave a comment and let us know. So leading up to the event, coming up to, what was it? It was, I don't remember the date of the championship last year. I know it was mid-November. I want to say November 14th. Close to around there?
13th or 14th. I remember Jackie's niece actually having to go back and get a flight. So I do remember I think it was the 14th actually.
Yeah, because I remember wanting to do it really close to the 23rd and couldn't do it the weekend close to the 23rd, and I had to do it a week earlier. And so it's... I just got some of the chats coming in, and Steven saying that he probably would have brought in Nubia still, and Jordan saying he probably would have brought in Malik. So some of the old champions coming in, I would be cool to see who would have brought in some of the newer champions. But so we had the championship around the 14th of last year. Leading up to it, we had a crazy time coming up to that point. What were some of your stresses and anxieties leading up to that event? Carl?
Well, I know I had a lot of work with drywall going on at the same time too, right? So I was a little worried that I'd be under the gun to get stuff done in time to be able to spend the amount of time at the tournament, right?
Yeah.
So that was the main thing, I think, for me.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know if it was you or maybe JC, but someone was like, I'm not even 100% sure I'll be able to make it that day. And I remember freaking out about that.
I remember going to the airport at 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. That morning, I had gone to bed at 12 midnight because there was a show down in Niagara. We still had Jackie's niece here, so we went down and taken to the show out of nowhere. We weren't supposed to go, and then up at 3 to run, I think, Jackie's sister to the airport. Got home about 5 or 6, 8, and then came out to Cambridge.
Oh yeah, you had. That was intense. I remember that.
21-hour day, boys.
Yeah, you're a trooper. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I do some stuff.
Yeah, for me, it was mainly just making sure that the decks that I made for the champions, like I was running the Kendra deck, was interesting and exciting and like not terrible. So
Yeah.
that was the more for me, more fun for me.
Yeah, I can't believe on top of planning the championship and all that kind of stuff, we had to put together decks and we had to be ready to play. Like,
Yeah.
that was a whole other thing and we didn't plan that too far in advance. I think it was like less than a month in advance, and we're like, yeah, we should represent the different cities, and we should make decks. And then we decided, okay, let's switch over to the new champions and spoil the new champions. So that was definitely crazy. Hey Conrad, it's great to see you in the chat there. So that was definitely a crazy thing. And then setting up for the event. I know Carl was there for setup. My gut tells me Lionel was there. I don't remember if JC was there, to be honest.
I think JC rolled in at like 8 in the morning.
That's true. You had to deal with the flight.
Yeah.
So setting up the hall, and there was a lot of last minute things. Lionel, you were there for the setup, right?
I actually wasn't able to make the exact setup. I was there. I came after everything was in place.
Yeah.
I believe it was you, Luis, and Carl who did most of the setup.
That's true. Yeah. So
I remember being sad not being able to be there, but I don't entirely remember the reason why I wasn't able to be there.
Yeah. Carl, anything from the setup that you remember?
Trying to figure out how best to rearrange the way the tables went with the lighting that was in that room, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Some spots there was a little darker than others, and it was a little weird. It was
How did you find the venue? Sorry, I kind of.
No, yeah.
Hotels are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, what was it? I know Pokemon for like nationals and that many years ago, through like the 2000s, that was usually at a hotel in Toronto, and it was usually always on par great.
Yeah. I remember looking at a bunch of different places and thinking of a bunch of different things. For people who don't know this, my original plan was to actually host it in the cafeteria of GCI. Lionel, my old high school, Carl's old high school, and part of it is because Haunted Castle Gaming is named after GCI. So that would have been really weird, but still really funny. And I actually was going to revisit that idea for this year as well, but then we ended up booking the same venue as last year, and yeah, it would have been really funny to do the championship at a high school cafeteria.
That's where
that would have been so surreal.
I started playing Magic.
Yeah, that's where Lionel started playing Magic.
Yeah, exactly. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually.
Yeah.
That's where I was introduced to both of those games.
That's where we started playing Origins.
Yeah, exactly.
So
ridiculous.
And then I remember our original venue that we had booked, like a month or 2 months before the event, called me up and like, we're doing renovation and tearing down the building, so we have to cancel your reservation. And then we, at the last minute, have it scramble and find a new location. And then ended up finding the one that we got, and they gave us a really, really great discount because of the mishap that was happening. So, yeah.
Well, I remember the months leading up to that. You were like stressing about finding a venue for a while.
Yeah, it was really crazy. I remember working with Carl and putting together the frame for the revealing the new champions, and then like hiding it and being like, "Will anyone notice this?" And I was like, "No, they won't notice this. It'll just be completely out of place." And then when we started pulling it out, no one saw that coming.
Yeah,
that was really well set up.
I'm so happy the way that it was organized. Yeah. You did a good job.
And I'm so grateful to the hotel staff that ended up catching so many things we forgot. They're like, "Oh, do you need pads of paper and pen?" And that was great. And then they were also like, "Do you want candy bowls for every table?" And we're like, "Sure." So there were so many things.
They were very gracious hosts.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Jason for joining the chat. Thanks. The question for anyone who's new and who's joining the stream, I'd love to know if we were to hold the 2020 championship, who would you have brought in as your champion to play with? So we already heard Nubia and Malik. I'd like to hear if there's anyone else, any other champions that you'd want to bring in and play with. And especially from Jason, who actually this would have been his new event. He wasn't there at the 2019 championship. His entire community. So that would have been really cool. All right. So let's talk about particular topics. I want to start with, how did it feel like being a judge for the event? We were not prepared for that. Lionel, you start us off. How did it feel like being a judge in this event?
A little nervous. Well, actually, a lot nervous. It was the first time I had ever judged any sort of events, and I wouldn't consider I've never really played overly competitive in any other games, so it was a new experience for me. But it was really nice because I had to support the entire team. So yeah, I was nervous, but we had other people to lean on, so I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. JC, any thoughts there?
I've done a little bit of like smaller tournaments at local stores and that, where I've always been there as a resource of kind. So having to judge or make a call is not new to me, not on a serious level, but it's like, yeah, no, this doesn't work. I'm sorry. Tough luck.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Maybe have a badge.
And Carl?
I've done refereeing for different sports like soccer and volleyball, and I hate it. So, I mean, going into that, I was really not looking forward to it. And then there was a couple of calls that I made, and it was just, I don't know, needed that bit of an icebreaker, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Realized that I do actually know the rules of the game well enough, and so it was fine.
That
I
was
would also like. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
no,
Carl.
no.
I was just saying, once I got my feet wet, it was fine.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, no, I would also like to say, like, my experience with being a judge, like, I wasn't able to really focus on one game that I was like really, really interested in. I was kind of have to float around. So I feel like I missed out a lot of really great plays because we're constantly floating around. But that's okay. And I still had a good experience with it.
Yeah. Jason supporting Team Raha for if he were to come into championship, which would have been cool. We would have had multiple Rahas come into the championship, so that would have been a good change. Yeah, for me, that was one of my biggest lessons learned when it came to the judging and those official rules and stuff like that. And next year we're planning something a lot bigger. So when we come to the 2021 championship, we'll make sure that we have a good plan in place. We'll have the right people coming to do the judging. It was one of those things that I learned, which was, even though we all know the rules fairly well, it doesn't mean we were the right people to be the judge. And especially myself, who was like, one of the hardest things when it comes to being a judge is setting aside any biases and making a decision that's right for the game, regardless of who's playing. And that's there's just so many challenges. Luckily, the people who came and played, everyone who came out to the championship, was so supportive, and I'm so grateful for everyone who was there, understanding that this was our first time doing things, and we did things a little bit weird. Actually, one of the comments I got the most was that people found it weird that we bought everyone dinner. And
have you not gone to one of these events before, Sid? My goodness, they don't buy you dinner.
Not
going for a date or something.
But that's one of those things I'm actually going to keep with moving forward, is that I'll buy everyone dinner. Maybe there'll be like different options available at different like I had
wine too.
No. Yeah, that's what you want people to do. You take a break partway through the tournament and get a little drunk and then come back in, right? That's what you want.
Oh my gosh.
It would be terrible. But I like the idea of providing some level of amenities. Maybe we wouldn't buy everyone dinner. We'd provide things like chips and snacks and other things along the way. And then one thing I was planning for the 2020 championship was having 2 entry level tickets. So one that was free, and a second one which is a VIP badge, and the VIP badge would give you dinner and some other stuff. So it would have been interesting. We might do that again next year, because one of the things that I guess the team didn't have to deal with as much was the logistics of the finances. And we did really well, all things considered. The championship still helped us quite a bit, and we were able to give back to the community by having an event that was completely free. So I'm trying to find ways to offset that as we grow.
VIP is actually a pretty good idea. Again, I go back to Pokemon. When the last tournament I played for Pokemon Nationals, they had VIP tables, so you did not have to get up and move around with 200 other people in the place. Larger venue, but just makes it comfortable for you.
And the one thing I would do differently for sure is readjust the process of doing the t-shirts. I like the t-shirts, and I've seen so many people wear their championship t-shirts. I'm not wearing mine right now, which is sad. But
wait, you have different shirts, man? I thought you only had the Genesis ones.
I have the Rays one, I have the championship one, I have the convention one, I have the OG Genesis t-shirt, and then I have a few other ones.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sid does have other shirts in his closet.
Yeah, I know. Like, this is just a plain blue t-shirt. This is my rotation outside of the Rays shirts. I mean, the Genesis shirts. It's a plain blue t-shirt. That's all it is. I like it because it's a V-neck, but yeah, like the VIP thing would have been really cool, and that's something I know leading up to the 2021 championship. We'll put together some ideas and we'll pass it out to the community to get their feedback on what they want to see for future events. So the judging side. The other thing that I want to talk about is the challenging the game design team. We touched on this a little bit earlier. How was that to go out be put on the spot and give out these badges and be like an event in yourself? Was it? Did you enjoy it? What were your thoughts on that?
Who's going first? Me?
Yeah, go for it. Go.
Okay. I enjoyed it. It was neat to see the different decks that people were playing with, right? So that was kind of neat. And there was a few things that I was able to teach people too, so I might have helped them a little bit in their play in the tournament, right?
Yeah.
I remember one time in particular with Stone Protector with an angel on it, and I don't remember who I was playing, but he didn't realize that he could react with both, right? When I killed his angel. Yeah, it was neat. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna do that again.
Yeah. Before we jump to the next person, I just want to answer a question that came in through the chat. James is asking if we ever put the shirts on sale. So there are legal reasons that are handcuffing us from being able to create apparel. So unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to put t-shirts for sale on a regular basis, but for specific events, we could probably do it. So we might have a championship event where we'll have t-shirts set aside for the VIP members, and then we might have a few extras, and if there are extras, we'll put those on for sale. So if you're coming out to an event, then there's a good chance for you to pick those up. Otherwise, we won't have them on our site or selling to the stores. Anyways, JC, you want to take go to the idea of... I know you had some crazy stories with this.
So Steve-O was like, hey, I'm unbeaten. I beat you in your game, man. I smacked you around that board. Top block, you were defeated that day. Backhanded you around that convention all day long.
I need to tag Steve-O.
I am smack talking him right now, and I'm glad about it. Actually, I did prove that Malik is actually still a really, really good champion. I think out of the team, I was running the spicy deck. Because Malik does get kicked around a lot for not having that 80 aura. And it's like, great, let's show what Malik can do when, you do him a little differently in that. And it's amazing how much I learned from Malik, too. It's like, I like Malik even more now. Like, 80 aura, sure, I'll find other ways to do his damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that, Steve-O.
Conrad does says that you're amazing, JC. So, and I want to state for James, who's watching on YouTube, that hopefully, when we do the 2021 championship or whenever we set up the next events, we'll make sure that people can travel in from the states that we're at a better position. But if we can't, then we'll find other ways, like how we had the bundles that went on sale this year because we couldn't host the championship. We might do something similar for next year. So we'll see how things go, and we'll plan for the best. And I also got a message from our friends over at Rochester CCG, and I'll be talking about them a little bit more in this live stream. But they made the first Genesis sale, so they're really excited about that. So yeah, good news. Shout out to the people at Rochester CCG for that. All right, Lionel, talk to me about designing the deck and coming to play, because you are not familiar with Sahas. Sahas is not your thing.
So. Yeah, so Sahas is definitely not my forte. So I already said I was nervous about making it, and I was like really nervous. So I was like really unsure about how it would turn out, and it turned out actually decent. Like I was kind of happy how I did it. Like I ended up kind of doing a monster Kendra deck with running the behemoths as my main monster, and it worked out pretty well. But yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was refreshing because I got to play a lot of people that I didn't get to play before, and meet a lot new and seen a lot of new faces. Because some of the people that joined the champions, unfortunately, I haven't actually gotten the pleasure of meeting them until that day. So it was pretty cool doing that, and I think it was a nice touch having that sort of reward system where you get the little badge when you win.
Yeah.
So
I just realized
again, I thought
as we were talking about this, that I never explained this to all the new people. So let me explain what we were just talking about for the past few minutes. We had this event where the four of us represented the four different cities. So I represented Vadhis, JC was Vishud, Carl was Ajna, and Lionel was Sahas. And you came and you challenged us. And if you beat us in a game, then we gave you a button that had the symbol of your city. And
we were playing with the new champions.
Yeah.
Don't forget that part.
After dinner, or like we had a break partway through, and we revealed to everyone about raids, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And we switched over to the new champions. So this was the first time a lot of people were seeing the new champions, and they also got to challenge them. So that was a really fun experience. But basically, when we weren't judging, anyone could come tap us on the shoulder and challenge us, and if they beat us, they got the badge. So I think I went that day, and I didn't get challenged. I got challenged a lot. I didn't get to sit down and play a lot, unfortunately, because I was running around the entire day. So that's another lesson learned. If I'm going to participate in this, I need to make myself more available. So that would be a big thing for future years, is that we'll make sure whoever's participating in this feature is more available for you to challenge. I was only beat, I think, once by Alex. I don't know who got my badge. There were not many people who got my badges that day. One, because I was not easy to challenge, and on top of that, I was playing Vadhis, and I'm really good with Vadhis, so it was. I definitely had some solid decks, and people did not see Kun coming. He was a really powerful champion. He got balanced, which was good, but he was definitely really strong. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is the race spoiler. So we've already talked about this a little bit. So up to this date, leading up to this date, people knew what the set name was, just like people know that the next set's called Origins, and after that is called Return. People know that that's happening. So people have corrected me. I was beaten by Steve-O. So Steve-O got the whole set, and I'm pretty sure Alex did as well. So up to this point, people did not know what was going to happen in the storyline of Rays, did not know that there were going to be new champions. and basically knew nothing about the actual cards that were coming out in Raze. They just knew that the name of the set. And then we came with this giant banner. I wish I had an image of that, but it was really, really cool. We had a lot of fun with that. And then we showed people the new champions. So, how did you feel about this? And what were some of the comments you got when this was revealed? So let's start with JC on this one.
Here's Odara. Let's whip them into shape. I think that was the biggest thing was it wasn't the reveal of, hey, here's what our champions look like. Go fight them now and see if you can win.
Yep. Yeah, that was definitely a really cool aspect. Lionel.
Yeah, it was just the whole question about what are these people doing? Because we brought it out, we brought this whole banner out into the center, and we didn't open it up and reveal it until after. And and I remember people were wondering what in the world we were doing until we actually revealed it. And the expressions, like in the sounds of everybody in the room, it was so amazing to see and to experience. So
yeah,
it was just it was awesome.
Yeah. Carl?
Getting our pictures taken with the banners.
Oh yeah.
What else? I think with what was added to the game with those new champions, there was a lot of excitement about that. Like with the Baihu and
Yes.
being able to bring something in from outside of your timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a lot of new concepts that
Yeah.
people had to wrap their heads around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was exciting. It was good.
Yeah. I remember so many people thinking that Kun was going to be Axon Thymos because of the color of his uniform. And that needed some explaining. And then I remember someone coming up to me and being like, I'm worried that Odara is going to be taken in the wrong context. And I was just like, I don't think that's going to happen.
Wait. What story did I miss?
Yeah.
Is this something with like a dominatrix or something? Like
Yeah,
a whip?
yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really exciting.
But I mean, all things considered, it was really fun. A lot of people were playing with those champions in booster drafts, which was really cool. The people who dropped out of the actual championship tournament, they went and did some booster draft, got to play with the new champions, and that was really awesome. And then all in all, like it was a really fun way of doing that reveal. And to be honest, that was our plan for this year too. We were going to reveal the Origins champions this year in a similar fashion, but c'est la vie. All right, and then let's talk about the one more thing I want to talk about before we get into the actual tournament. I know that this live stream is going a little bit long, but
It's all good.
let's talk about the auction. How do you like? We're doing the auction this year. It's actually starting tomorrow, 1 a.m. People gonna start bidding on things. So how did you feel about this idea of doing an auction? I'd love to get your feedback from. I know Lionel actually entered the auction at some point.
Yeah, I got the wall banner. So
Yeah.
it was pretty nice. Yeah. I guess I'll start then. I wasn't sure, honestly. Like a lot of what happened in the championship was like all new territory for me. So, like I said, I wasn't sure about a lot of things, but it was exciting for the prospect of getting like one of a kind items specifically for Genesis. So I thought that was a really cool idea, and I thought that it brought in really like a good crowd. So yeah, I guess that's my main thoughts when I came in.
How do you feel, JC? Because I know you're definitely a collector of unique items in games.
It allows players to become more invested, I think, at times, to have the opportunity to get those one-of-a-kind items that they might not have the chance to get ever again.
Yeah.
Whether it's an uncut sheet I'm looking at right now that's framed, but it looks gorgeous in my office, or whether it's like an original promo or something that you might not ever see again. It adds to that collector's aspect of just being more invested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know that championship we had Sky in the lot, and you'll never
I was
see
gonna mention
Sky.
Sky.
Yeah, go for it then.
Yeah, well, because I didn't realize till after the fact that we could actually enter, and there was, I think, two.
Yeah.
Wasn't there two
Yeah,
Skies?
there are two.
Yeah. Sorry, I was actually mistaken. The wall banner was what my brother won. I won the plaque.
The
I won
anime
plaque from
champions.
Anime North one. Yeah, I remember because I remember when you during the Anime North event, I remember you getting it and I was like, I want that, give it to me. And you're like, no, it's mine. Whatever. Either way, I was able to win it. I was pretty excited about that. So yeah, for some reason, yeah.
And just having I think like so for me personally, looking back at my time playing a bunch of other card games, there was so many times where I was so invested into those games, I would have gone above and beyond to get some sort of collector item that no one else had, or even if other people had it, such a small handful of people had it, that it still kept me in the elite club. I remember seeing uncut sheets of Magic and being like, how do I get my hands on those? It only seemed like store owners had them. Like, it was nearly impossible getting some of these things. And I would have fought a lot to get some of those collector's items. And I do have some stuff. I remember I have a statue from Serenity, like the movie Serenity, of River Tam. And it's like one of 25 models out there. And so I love having these collector things. I have so much stuff signed by Summer Glau. Pardon?
I know.
Yeah. And then looking at us, we have so much of the stuff that's just sitting in our vaults. Things like this year, something that's really special is putting up the printing plate in this year's auction, which is literally one of a kind. I do not have a second copy of that. I remember I gave Steve-O the printing plate for Welcome to J-Lara, and then instantly regretted it, being like, oh, I can't get myself another one of those. Why did I do this? But this time around, I'm a lot more comfortable with it because I wasn't going to hang that one up, right? So giving it to someone who's actually going to hang it up or hold it in the collection and say, you know, this is something I have that no one else has, and makes them feel more connected to us, the game designers, to the community, I think is a really cool thing to do. So that's part of the reason why I love the auction, and that's why I think you'll see it as an annual tradition. And then last year we had a full booster box of Alpha go into the auction, and this year we only have 4 booster packs. Like, we couldn't even put up a full booster box. So those Alpha packs are getting harder and harder to get your hands on. Yeah. All right. Last topic I want to hit. Favorite memories from the actual tournament itself. What was your favorite memory? Who wants to start on this one? All right, I'll kick it off while the rest of you think about it. So my favorite memory was near the end of the tournament, the last match of Alex versus Steve-O. And the gameplay itself was wonderful. Everything about the game itself was great. But being able to just pull a chair and watch it on the TV like it was you know, a natural sporting event. It was, right? They were fighting for real money, and it's just the feel of it. It was so cinematic. There were so many moments where you're like, oh, this is gonna happen, or like this crazy combo comes out. And I don't know about the rest of you, but when I see a gameplay of Genesis, I can actually imagine the characters doing these things. It comes to life for me. Oh, it looks like we lost Carl. His battery probably died. Oh no, just at the ending. My favorite memory of this conversation is when Carl disappeared. He was a ghost this entire time. And then just being able to sit there. I had a drink. I had Coke in one hand. I think I had a slice of pizza in the other. And I was just watching this battle unfold. And there was this wonderful moment where they both spaced out and didn't know whose turn it was. No, I think it was Steve-O's turn. And Steve-O didn't realize. So they're just sitting there doing nothing for like 5 minutes. And you think it's the most intense stare down ever. And then eventually Alex is like, it's your turn. And there's just this uproar of laughter. It was such a good moment.
Man, I'm so sad I missed that. I think I was.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I was doing at the moment. I wasn't able to watch that part.
Yeah, it was so fun to just sit and watch the game played at its peak. That was like the most intense matchup. It's still up on YouTube. If you dig around in our YouTube channel, you'll find that matchup. Anyways, have you two remembered your favorite memory?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, JC.
I was gonna say, Steve was saying he's sitting there with a Coke and a pizza and probably reminiscing about college life. Actually, while sitting there watching the TV. My favorite moment, just playing other players for the game and that. Sitting there doing those challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's like most things where you play a game, you play in a community, and there's always that your communities will call it the term meta.
Yeah.
And to see other people coming in and playing different things, you now start to get exposed to metas from other communities as well, or different ways people play. So
Yeah,
get more of that exposure rather than what you're used to in your own environment.
Yeah.
for sure. I think that's a really good point, JC. But for me, I maybe it's a little selfish, but my favorite point was when my girlfriend Toby ended up coming in. Like, I think she wasn't able to be there because she was working, but when she came in, she was like, she got super excited because we had a really great turnout, and then just the look on her face. Like, I remember she was coming in, and I was like, it was just really happy to see her.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool when they're there, and then on top of that, I really had a good time doing the booster draft. There was a lot of people who played the new champions. We didn't have enough champions for everybody to play. I think Kuhn was one of the top picks. Kuhn and Erica were one of the more popular picks during that. So I was really happy to be able to play during the booster draft, and I guess that's a close second.
And on your point, I don't think it's selfish. I think it's one of those things that as designers or we don't take the moment to step back and look at this, but I've had this moment time and time again for the past 5 years before I even started the company of so many people saying, this isn't going to be feasible. Oh, don't do this. It's a huge risk. You can't compete in this space. You can't compete against someone like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon. Don't even try. And having this moment, that one day where everyone comes together and you take a step back and you realize, we made this happen. We made this game, and people are out here playing competitively. They're enjoying the match. No one's there being like, oh, you're some big greedy company, or they didn't care. It's not like they didn't care about us. They cared about who we were as individuals, and they were there to support us and play a game that they love to play. And especially when our family comes and sees that, because a lot of I know, at least for me and Lionel, like a lot of our families don't understand the space that we're in. Gaming always seems like such a like, why would you go into business for gaming? It doesn't seem like, it seems like children, right? But all of a sudden it became a reality. It's an actual business, and people enjoy what we do. And we could tell there's so many people watching this stream. We've had 11, 12 people watching pretty continuously. And so many people chatting. So thank you to everyone who chats and enjoys this game with us, and thank you to the family who support us. And maybe it took that day for them to realize that it's real, but at least they realized it. At least that moment occurred, right?
If I die, please just get the box under the bed. My wife will burn it or give it to Salvation Army. Please, I'm not joking.
All right. All right. I think we should start wrapping this up. So thank you, Lionel. Thank you, Carl, who disappeared into the aether during this call. Thank you, JC, for joining us. It's been a long time since all four of us got together, and I'm happy that the community got to be here to join us for this. I have a few announcements before we wrap this up. Tuesday night at 7. I'm pretty sure 7 p.m., 7 to 8. Alex and I are sitting together. So Alex Miller from Dragon World. We're going to be sitting together and doing a live stream show where we will be doing some deck techs. We'll be talking about strategies and combos in the gameplay. He'll be challenging me a lot on my decisions. and we will also do some games ourselves. Next, we will have different topics every single week. Our topic for this coming week is top 10 cards in Bellum. So if you want to see my top 10 list and Alex's top 10 list and see us play with some of those cards, then come join us on Tuesday night. We'll be streaming on all of these platforms again. And then on top of that, you got the 2020 player survey. Today's your last day to fill that out if you haven't, and you have an opportunity of winning a free box of Rays when you do that. Or Rays, JLR, or Beta, not Alpha, but any of the 3 active sets, let us know. I will be announcing who wins that in tomorrow's AMA that I'm hosting. So make sure you fill out that survey. I have the link for that, so I'll be throwing that into the chat. And then the auction does go live again, like I was saying, tomorrow at 1 a.m. So if you haven't signed up for that, or you haven't confirmed your email address in BidBeacon, make sure you send a message to me or anyone on the team, and we'll make sure that you get access to that. The anniversary package, today's your last day to purchase that. So if you want those promo champions, this is how you're going to do that. We only have a few of them left. We're actually running really low on them. Okay, so Rochester CCG, like I said, they just started selling their Genesis product this week. Today they're having a sale because they're in partnership with TCG University, which is doing a TCG University is doing a charity, and it's going live right now. It's a 24-hour thing. So if you want, you can follow them on Twitch. I put the link in the chat there. Is it wrong if I say the auction starts on the 25th? The auction should start tomorrow on the 21st. So let me go double check, but I'm pretty sure that the auction's starting tomorrow. TCG University, they are doing a bunch of giveaways, and we have 3 prizes in that giveaway. They are starter kits, which will have there'll be intro kits, which have 2-player starter kits, some booster packs, and some promos in there. So if you want to win that, go check them out and support them for a great cause. Regular reminders. JC, do you want to do the COVID reminder?
All right, let's do this. So as you know, COVID is a real thing out there. Our gaming partners, our favorite LGS, do bring us our favorite products, our favorite games. Please respect the rules of the stores, that whatever they've set out, whether it's, making sure you wash your hands before you come in, walking, down a certain path. Please respect that. They are our frontliners when it comes to our gaming hobbies. And yeah, make sure that you're following the directions of your local health units as well, as things have changed as well.
Yeah, things are changing a lot in Canada and then the States. And I don't want to get too much into the politics, but a lot of places are shutting down. I know one of our provinces, and I'm pretty sure it's either Alberta or Manitoba, is going in complete lockdown, where you cannot in person buy anything that's non-essential. And it sounds like, some parts of Ontario might move in that direction as well. So whatever your guidelines are, please be safe out there, and take care of one another. And if it means that maybe you can't play Genesis for the next little while, that's okay. It's better to be safe in this situation. All right, our town hall is happening on December 7th. It's a Zoom meeting that we have. Everyone's welcome to come join, and we will be recapping all the conversations that are happening on Future League right now in Discord. So that's talking about the champions. That's talking about the line of sight mechanic. That's talking about the poly summons with Replicate. That's talking about the direction of Phage. And I have some more stuff that's going to be coming out in Future League soon. So if you are part of that conversation, you really want to deep dive into that some more, Town Hall is happening December 7th. And then tonight, I know A.G. Miller is going to be on Tabletop Simulator playing a few games. He really, really wants to test out the new stats for the champions, especially with the higher energy reduction. We are releasing more champions with energy reduction 2 and champion with energy reduction 3. So we are putting these out there to test. We want your feedback. So talking about it is great, and I love hearing the conversations. And I'm going to give a shout out to Will, who has been very vocal in the chat, and it's been very appreciated. But playtesting is really a big next step forward. Show us. Don't just talk about it, but show us that what we're doing is right or wrong. All right? All right, and that's everything. If you need the link to Discord, I will be once again throwing that into the chat, and you can join us on Discord to continue this conversation. Talk about if you have any ideas that you would like to see in the 2021 championship. One big thing we didn't even chat about was we actually had the budget and the plan to fly Damian and Philip down here for the 2020 championship, and that didn't happen. We had the budget set aside. They had applied for their passports. Everything was in process, and it just never happened. So, if you want to continue this conversation, if you have ideas for future championships or future events, make sure you join Discord. I am very accessible there. The entire team is. And that's it for this week.
Hey, there's one thing we missed.
What?
We didn't put our bets on who would have won the 2020 championships. What champion? Who are you going with?
Oh.
I'm taking Kun, guys. I'm sorry.
It's a hard question.
I would probably go with I don't know, actually. That is a really hard question. Kun would have been up there. I probably would have been I don't know. I've seen a lot of great Nubia decks come out. I've seen Erica really, really prominent. So I would have been leaning towards Erica, to be honest.
I'm going with Kun.
Yeah.
I'm going with that movement ability.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a really good, devastating thing. If people don't see it coming, it's really solid.
I still think Nubia would have been up there as well. So, yeah, it's a good chance.
All right.
Fair enough. There's your bets, people.
Yeah, let us know if you're still watching. Let us know who would you have betted on to win the championship for 2020. 2021's championship's gonna be really, really unique. So we're hoping for a lot of people to come join us then. All right, that's it for this week, and we'll see you next week. And hopefully the entire team joins us next week. All right, take care.
Talk to you then. Bye.
Bye.